Good morning. It is a football Friday brought to you by the Out of Bounds Show and Patron Añejo and Extra Añejo. If you're looking for something super premium and delicious, and it is delicious, Patron Extra Añejo, 3+ years age, got that bourbon profile to it. Patron Extra Añejo, Football Friday. Good morning. I am your host, Bo Bounds. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. I've got Jason with me. He's feeling kind of frisky. He was hotty-toddying early today.
Come on.
Early. His first thing he told me, I'm coming off a road trip. Didn't even ask me how I was, what I did, where'd I eat, who'd I see, whatever. First thing he tells me when I come in is pre-scorn. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Pre-scorn from Memphis, Harris from La Tech, and Franklin from UT San Antonio, all from the transfer portal and all on off, 2 wide receivers and a tight end for Ole Miss, will be playing against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Man, how bad does Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding want to beat Nick Saban?
Oh,
They both coached under him. I'm sure many a times they felt the wrath of Saban, especially Lane, because Lane was still in that kind of bad boy phase, and we all saw him on the sideline, and he'd give that bit, that seriously, you're yelling at me again thing, and it was kind of, it was kind of entertaining. It added to, Lane's brand, so to speak. I don't remember. Was he allowed to tweet during that time? Because Saban doesn't allow his, of course, neither does Lane. The
right,
irony.
yeah.
Lane loves
funny.
him some Twitter and loves to, go on rants, but he doesn't allow his assistant coaches to talk to the media. So neither does Saban, except the college football playoff. The rules are you have to. And I can't remember if the week of the SEC championship game, it's a conference mandated press conference, Jason, but I try to stay away from most coaches' press conferences because they don't say anything. But anyway, roundabout, Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding. You know how bad they want to be. They've been in the room. They've been in the building. They've worked for him. They've spent countless hours in that Alabama football facility. They recruited for Alabama. They wore the pullover, which means you can get into any home in America for at least a meet and greet.
Yeah.
They would both love to be the head coach at the University of Alabama at some point.
Of course. Who wouldn't?
Right. Although, I think you want to be the second guy to follow Saban, not the first.
Yeah, not the first.
I mean, how many times does it work out following Coach Paul Bear Bryant, following Woody Hayes,
Yeah.
following Barry Switzer,
Let Jimbo go in there, disappoint.
following Sean Payton. I mean, to take it locally,
Oh, true.
as many Saints fans as we have. I mean, maybe Dennis Allen can do this with this easy schedule, but it's not ideal. I tell you who did a good job of it, now that I think about it, if we want to tie it locally. It was a disaster at Ole Miss following Johnny Balt, right?
Right.
He left,
Yeah.
he came back, just never got lost. All the mojo, all the momentum. The 70s were a disaster. The 80s were Brewer would go 6-5 every now and then by beating Vandy and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And La Tech. I tell you somebody who did it. This is I haven't thought about this. Pat McMahon followed Ron Polk and did a remarkable job. And then left Ron a loaded roster. And then Ron left John Cohen a roster that, looked more like William Carey. That's just, I'm thinking locally. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've never, my entire life has been Mike Bianco at Ole Miss.
Golly, you're 20. Golly.
I'm 24. Yeah.
So other than like 2 years of your life.
Which I don't, obviously.
Right. You don't remember when you're 2 years old.
Yeah.
I don't either. 3, 4, 5. I don't remember that. Dang, Jason. I did not. I haven't thought of it that way. All you know is Mike Bianco.
I'm getting old, man.
And heck, he's back on the hot seat. All right. The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. The SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by our friends at Rick's Pro Truck, RPT. Rick's Pro Truck in Gluckstadt, Rick's Pro Truck in Flowood, and RPT Commercial in Pearl. So I was scanning their Facebook page, and they've got these UTV kits that are available by Rigid Industries, LED lighting. They're really, 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 really nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're good looking. And then they also, I thought this was really cool. I had it and then I lost it. All right. WeatherTech floor guards, accessories, bumper to bumper, RPT, ricksprotruck.com. Show is also brought to you by The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland. Optics, suppressors, firearms, guns, The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland, right in front of Kroger. Beautiful building, beautiful shop too. Golly, their inventory is amazing. The Armory, Lake Harbor in Ridgeland, right in front of Kroger, right down from Bulldog Burger. Let's drop Hugh Freeze because I got to get my mind right for this Auburn A&M game, which is the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
Who couldn't bathe in that?
Come on.
Huh? I mean, that's a big bubble bath. It just is. Will you play that one more time, please?
Of course. I was going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
Wow.
Man.
I felt that in my toes.
I'm fired up. Almost 24 hours away from an Auburn football game.
Incredible. Well, that's true. I was there last week well, you were too. Did you make it for the game?
I did, yeah.
Made
it the whole game, too.
Did you make it for the beginning of the game?
I did.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
Yep. I felt like Wendy and I left a little late. I can't remember what the deal was, but, I'm not big on traffic or lines or people.
We know.
And so, but it wasn't too bad, especially where we come in from. A little bit of a hiccup, but nothing terrible. I think I went the wrong exit, to be honest with you. I'm gonna reassess for the next. But I won't be coming in 45 minutes for an 8 o'clock game.
Did you drive? Did you? You were already in Starkville, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all's place is just a little distance away. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think I took the wrong route. I'll know better next time.
Yeah, you learned.
Kind of like when Chris Jans is talking to a guard. There's a certain way that you want to take the ball to the basket, to the rim, right?
Of course.
You go this way, no. You go this way, better path.
Yeah. I mean, I played church league basketball last night. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Did you really play church league basketball?
I did. Yeah, I doubled my point total last night.
Hold on, let me guess. It was either 2 or 4.
My point total was 3, and I hit a 3 last night.
Did you really?
So back-to-back games with a 3. I'm heating up, folks. I'm getting hot.
You're one of the whitest white guys I know, so I would have to believe that you probably shoot flat-footed, don't you?
No, I have, but a vertical is vertical is strong words.
Is your vertical like when Phil Mickelson won the Masters in 2004 and we could just see just a little daylight between the grass and his shoes?
I can do like, how you would do in high school. You'd grab the net and try to then grab the rim and act like, you could jump up on the rim. I can grab the net. So it's not,
okay.
As a 5'9" guy, I'd say that's like an average American vertical.
Yeah.
Now, then, when you're like St. Joe would play public schools in like middle school and like basketball and stuff.
Right.
And I didn't play. I'd watch my friends play. And there's 8th graders from like Richland High School dunking in 8th grade. And I'm like, okay, this isn't my sport.
Yeah, I had problem. Yeah, 8th grade, that was a problem for me too. My head was always hitting the rim.
Yeah, exactly. I could.
I don't know if you ever heard the story about Blake, but he played Renardo Sidney in AAU basketball, and Renardo jumped over him.
Oh, no.
And so Renardo's stones went right over Blake's hair. and so anyway, Yeah, I think there was a lot of closeness between Renardo's jockstrap and Blake's hair at that time.
Well, yeah, I got close to getting dunked on last night.
Did you really?
Yes, and I'm glad I got out of the way quick. See, we have a 6'7" guy on our team, and we're like, that's all we need, right? And then of course the other team has the same thing. So I got out of the way right before everything broke loose, and so I was okay. But hit a 3-ball. I'm one
you
of those
hit
people,
a 3.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Yes. Well,
Yeah, I was about to say you come off to me as a terrible shooter.
Well, what I say?
I mean, somebody who throws up bricks like a big dog.
Oh no, I mean, but my form is immaculate, and like
I could see that because you're very stiff and structured. So, can you get somebody to video you shooting a 3? I just need like 4 seconds. So
we got to wait for it to go in.
No. I'm just talking about you shooting it.
Okay,
I'm not worried about what happens.
The final product.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm one of those people that like I talk after every time I shoot. So I figure it's not going to go in. So I'll say stuff like rain dance or like, thank you, bingo. Like literally while I'm shooting the ball.
Oh no. You're even wider than oh gosh.
So yesterday I yelled thank you while I was shooting it, and then I made
New Balance, white socks.
Headband. I go
headband.
I go red, white, and blue Nike sweatband.
Oh no, this is terrible.
Huge.
You're not representing very well.
This is awesome. I'm doing a great job.
Okay. The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, is brought to you by Rick's Pro Truck, RPT in Gluckstadt, Rick's Pro Truck in Flowood, and RPT Commercial. RPT Commercial. We did a show out there last year in Pearl. It's right across from Miskelly Furniture and right around the corner from Sound and Communications. So, Bam, don't forget that Sound and Communications can put sound systems in your own football field, baseball field, arena, gymnasiums, obviously conference rooms, churches, you name it, soundcomav.com. Soundcomav.com. My buddy Michael says, I don't mean to get in your business, but you need to rethink your hiring process.
Whoa.
I couldn't agree more.
Whoa.
I couldn't agree more.
Come on.
Okay. We're close to Show Me the Money. We're just a couple minutes away, but I got to drop this Mike Gundy audio. Y'all remember Gundy losing his mind 16 years ago, and I remember this because the next day, Rush Agent and I did a show from the Viking Classic in Annandale, and it was freezing. I don't see how that was. Maybe that was another show. Because I remember one year either it got moved. It started like November 1, so that doesn't make sense that I was freezing unless we were just in the media center and they had that thing cranked up. I can't remember. Anyway, so it was 2006, and this is Mike Gundy.
That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid.
Wow. Can you believe he's referencing a paper?
Yeah, that's the best
I mean,
part.
Arnett, they asked him a question last week, and he referenced Twitter.
Yeah.
Kiffin has obviously referenced Twitter a lot.
All the time.
Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher are not on Twitter, but they know about it. I know Saban doesn't have the app on his phone. I'm convinced of that. I don't think Jimbo does either. I do believe, even though he's not active, that Kirby Smart has Twitter, the X app on his phone.
Somebody,
I think his chief of staff or whatever, works it. But I don't believe that Saban or Jimbo have Twitter X on their phone. So, Gundy would be the greatest wingman in the world on a Saturday night in a country bar. There is no question.
Wow.
Guy, you just nailed it. That person just won something. That was on the Ag Up Equipment text line. Gundy would be the greatest wingman in the world on a Saturday night in a country bar. There's no doubt. Y'all, Bart Heitch was my roommate for a semester in college. I know. And he played basketball at Mississippi State. And he was much better at hoops than Jason. And,
Whoa, I don't know.
And he actually took a trip to Notre Dame and had an offer.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not bad.
Well, maybe.
It's not a bad deal. And Bart had a photographic memory, so he was the guy that would tick you off. He made straight A's, but never studied. All you had to do is go to class.
Those kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photographic memory, go to class, got it. So Heitch tells me one weekend, he goes, hey, man, you want to come home with me and hang out? We'll, whatever. I go, yeah. That was my first. I should have said yes. And so Heitch is from Winfield, Alabama, which is the end of the earth. Okay. And so we get there and we meet some of his buddies. And then we end up at something called the Boar's Bud or something. It was the only restaurant in town. It was owned by his former high school coach, who was an absolute gem of a person in Tripp. I mean, he's just a big personality in town. He had won.
Okay.
And then he had parlayed it into a couple of business ventures. And he owned, I think, the Boar's Bud or something. Anyway, we went to eat there. It was a dry county. I don't want to surprise you. I mean, this was 1997 or 8. And then we ended up in Tuscaloosa at a bar. And it was a country bar where they all got up on the table and sang Rocky Top. But they say, blank you, Rocky Top.
Oh.
Go to hell, Tennessee. And the whole bar was singing it on top of the tables. Wild. Wild, wild. Anyway, I got to cut this story short. I would go, more into it, but we got to do Show Me the Money. All right, sorry. I may pick that up again. But Mike Gundy would have been perfect in that bar with us that night or in Winfield, Alabama. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Jason, here we go.
When the lights are about to be turned off, you know what you need. Because you got to somehow make that paper, right?
Money! Show me the money!
You come to the right place for that. Because it's time for Bo Bounds to
Show me the money!
show you the...
I hate giving Blake credit, but you got to somehow make that paper. Cracks me up every time we drop that liner. Show Me the Money is brought to you by Patron Extra Añejo, which is delicious super premium tequila, and the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and Lounge. Jason, do you have some games for me to pick?
Yes, I do. So let's start off with one that's in the ACC, might be the ACC Future Championship. It's got Florida State -2 at Clemson.
Florida State -2 at Clemson. I'm taking Florida State. Boy, I don't feel good about that either.
Wow.
But I'm taking Florida State.
Okay, taking the
I'm
road,
laying the points.
road favorite.
Well, we win by field goal.
I like it. Okay.
You know, 15 seconds left. Right hash mark. 33 yards out. Dialed in. Split the uprights. Get on the plane. Party on the way back to Tallahassee.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I like that. All right, now let's move into what most are calling the game of the week just because of who's in it. We got Colorado +21 at Oregon.
I'll take the points.
Take the points.
Yeah. Watch Oregon run them out of Autzen Stadium. But I'm going to take the points. That's a lot, man. I think Shador can score all day, maybe. Or maybe he just has to score late. I mean, maybe they're down 27, and he scores late, and Oregon's already subbed, and I win because it's only 20, baby.
Very true.
Of course, if he goes for 2, I'm not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, we can't. Don't mess with me on that back door.
Of course. There were some NFL games that did that this weekend,
Oh,
too.
no,
that people...
I saw that. I saw some of that on Twitter, and I listened to the NFL podcast on the way home from Dancing Rabbit Golf Club yesterday, and I was getting cracked up on the whole thing. But and that I'll have both TVs on.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll have Colorado and Oregon and Ole Miss and Alabama. I can't wait to see, can Lane put up a big number, a big number on Bama? Bama may still win, but can Lane score over 30 tomorrow is going to be really, really interesting to me.
Well, that's a perfect segue. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding, trying to take down former boss.
Yeah.
A lot of lines say Bama -6.5. Some say Bama -7. What are you taking?
Well, are you giving it? Am I calling this on the 6.5?
We'll do 6.5.
Okay, great. Then I'll take Bama.
Okay. But if it was 7, would you take the
I
Reds?
wouldn't like it near as much. I would not. And I think Kiffin and Golding have the coaching advantage. Isn't that crazy? That they have the
wild.
coordinator play calling advantage, and it's pretty significant over Tommy Reese and Kevin Steele or Robinson, whoever's running the defense. And you know what Lane's trying to do? Lane is just trying to get in, and this sounds crazy because I know how successful Nick Saban's been. We all do. But Lane is trying anything and everything to get into Nick Saban's head and the Alabama staff because he has nothing to lose. He's the underdog. He went over there 2 years ago, made a production out of the whole thing, and got embarrassed. It was 35-0 before I could even drink one Stella Artois. Right?
Yeah.
All right. And, we forgot
ready.
to plug in the microwave, blah, blah, blah. The electricity wasn't connected. So, Jason, I will give the points.
Okay.
I'll take Bama.
Given the points. So now let's move into, let's go Hugh Baby. 11 a.m., bright and early.
Okay.
They are a +7.5.
I'll take Auburn.
Big half there. Taking Auburn.
Yeah, I'll take Auburn. I'll take Hugh Freeze. Better head coach. He matches Petrino as far as a play caller. Montgomery is an amazing coach that Hugh has on staff. Keep an eye on him. If you're betting it, look at it. Hugh put together a really good staff. Y'all know he's a hell of a head coach. And I think Montgomery can flat out get after it. So I think that they can cover. A&M should win.
Wow. Okay. Road Dogs. I like that.
I'll take the 7.5.
Road Dogs for Hugh.
Yeah.
Now let's go into South Carolina. This line's been moving just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now they have it at -6.
Should have bet it at 4.5 all day long on South Carolina. Go
right.
ahead.
I mean, -6.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Hosting Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Okay.
What's the move, Bo Bounce?
First 1 to 20 wins.
Okay.
I said that earlier in the week. I was debating it. First 1 to 20 wins. Did you say 6?
-6. -6 Gamecocks.
Oh, gosh. 21-17, 21-14. Can State score multiple times? Heck, how many times can they get in the red zone?
That's a good question. Or
All
is
right,
it a
South
shootout?
Carolina wins, but I'll take the points.
All right, so taking the points
Yep.
with South Carolina wins. So field goal or some tomfoolery in there.
I feel terrible about that.
Hey, it's cemented. We got one more, and then we'll go into a little NFL
God,
action.
Res Dog, if I'd have called this, he would have been so mad because he's always upset with me because he believes that I should come on every day and say, Mississippi State's the greatest. They're going to win every game. Their players are amazing. All their coaches are flawless, whatever. Res Dog just hit us up on the Ag Up Equipment John Deere tractor text line. And you know what he said? MSU loses to South Carolina 31-13.
He would have called that a sin if you did that.
If I would have said that, he would have pulled over and lost his mind.
Yeah.
He'd have been arrested at wherever on Flowwood Drive or Highland Colony.
Yeah, and so now, finally, let's go into, we have Ohio State -3 at Notre Dame.
Ohio State -3. Ohio State.
All right.
WRK.
We are coming back.
Okay. All right. The show is powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and Lounge.